Ricardo Diaz. I'd like to welcome you and my co-host.
Hi everyone, my name is Charlotte Alvarez. I'm the director of the Immigration Project. We provide access justice and immigration services for low-income immigrants across central and southern Illinois. I'm really honored to be able to co-host the Welcome Awards this year. We received the Community Impact Awards several years, and we've always really appreciated the firm connections and the real deep sense of welcome to immigrants that we see in our Champaign community. So it's really exciting to be a part of honoring that and celebrating in a time when there's so much that maybe can get you down or fill up your mental reserves. Let's just take a little time and celebrate all the good things that make Champaign a welcoming and great community for all types of immigrants. So thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much. And in fact, to talk of sponsors, the Immigration Project, CU Immigration Forum is joined by also Immigration Services of Champaign-Urbana, the New American Welcome Center, Channing Murray Foundation, and our host, our virtual host today is the Urbana Public Library. But a special shout out to the city of Champaign, who has always come through. Rachel Joy there and her staff have always just put things together. Our host at the library, can you flash a little bit of face, Lauren? Lauren Chambers is our technician and host. As you know, you people that are returning, that you can usually fill out the auditorium in the basement of the library. And there won't be any food today. At least not from us to you. We'll just share in whatever way virtual we are like. And yes, actually I see that the chat feature is working, so we receive from everybody. So it'd be nice to hear from you. Take advantage of the technology. If we're gonna have to be limited by life, well, let's try new things and ways of taking advantage of this. Let me see, the cities, the refugee center, I think I thanked those that are salient as organizations. We'll be talking about people as we go, just because you can't carry out the immigration work with the beautiful help of people as we do. Charlotte, what we have, well, tell you a little bit of the process of what happened. In a way, I didn't want you to know too much, so I would have somebody to talk to and explain what happened, how we came about. The awards, really, this is a time to start thinking next year, because there were so many people that get nominated, and then you have to choose. So we have a panel of 5 judges that get together, and this year virtually. And we get the nominations, we sort them, we take away the nominator's name and just put them through. And it's often that a place, a person, an agency also gets nominated more than once. But we put them through, and then the group votes in a democratic way, and usually by the time the discussions keep going, of all the different agencies, EDs or representatives, we end up with a consensus of what we can do this year. Again, it was all virtual, so once that was decided, we put the notice out to the paper, in this case, the News Gazette. Thank you to them, they covered and put it out. The recording of today's ceremony will also go to UPTV, so thank you, Jason and company, for putting that together and making it perpetual. But as we got the nominations and then the final list, then we had to call the winners. It turns out that one of them is in Chicago and everybody else was in town. So we tried to get to them. And as it happened, the awards also arrived this week, and we had the decision of what do we do. So we had asked each person to do a video, and then as the awards were here, so we try to also be there with them as they recorded or they got the award. So we'll come back to that. But the logistics of it, of course, during these times, you can't get close to people.
the sound, the face masks, all that. This has always been an event that we don't make you feel guilty. We don't ask you for money. We just want to celebrate people and start out the year right. So that's where that's the background of what happened this year. So you'll be seeing a lot of people on video, and if they're live, we could probably get them to also. But you'll be seeing videos of people, and as traditional. The Welcome Awards has become the capstone event of Welcoming Week, a nationwide celebration. So we're going to start out with giving a little bit of context with that, with a video from Welcoming Week, locally hosted from the New American Welcome Center, as attached to the Welcoming America, which you'll see in the video. So Lauren, you want to cue that up?
Hello, my name is Jess. I'm the Director of Immigrant Family Services at the University YMCA New American Welcome Center. I'm also the person who helps coordinate Welcoming Week, and so I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about Welcoming Week and also about the U.S. Census. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see what I see. And here we go. So if you've never been part of Welcoming Week before, I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining this event. Welcoming Week this year is taking place from September 12th through September 20. And just to give you kind of a brief description of what that is, Welcoming Week is a global celebration that welcomes immigrants and refugees by celebrating diversity, promoting inclusivity, and fostering connection in community. We're super excited because there are over 30 events planned for this year's celebration, and the theme is creating home together. So if this is your first time experiencing Welcoming Week, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're interested in checking out other events, you can do that at our website, which is listed here at the bottom of the slide, but it's www.universityymca.org/welcome/WW20. In addition, I'm here to talk to you a little bit about the census. In case you were not aware, this year, the 2020 census is taking place, and we have until September 30th to make sure that everyone in our community is counted. So what is the census? The census is something that the US government does every 10 years. What that means is the government is counting every person who's living in the US. The census is a very short questionnaire that asks basic information about your household and the people who live in it. You might be wondering, why should I take the census? Why is it important? Well, two main reasons are the census brings resources to our community, and the census determines our political representation. So what do we mean by resources? So the census count helps determine how much funding our community will receive for things like schools, hospitals, food stamps, and roads. Governments, businesses, and community organizations also use census data to decide where to invest in our community. In addition, like I said, census results determine political representation, including how many seats in Congress our state will get and how districts are drawn from state and local governments. So the census really impacts a lot, and it will impact our community for the next 10 years. So please, if you have not been counted, please make sure that you are counted. You can do that at the website listed here on this slide. So it's www.my2020census.gov. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to us at the New American Welcome Center, and we would be happy to assist you. Thank you so much. Enjoy Welcoming Week and check out some other events.
What do you think, Charlotte?
That's great. You know, the census is so incredibly important, and what a terrible confluence of timing to have it happening this year. But getting everyone counted, and, you know, on the federal level, we've seen some really great court wins from advocates pushing against any sort of attacks on the census as a neutral counting mechanism. So we really are encouraging everyone to take the census, regardless of immigration status, regardless of where they're living, regardless of anything. If you're here in the US, you should be taking the census. Let's get everyone counted and really show the strength of our immigrant communities so we can bring those funds and dollars and focus to where it's needed most. So I think that's always a good reminder. We only have 11 days left. Let's get everyone in we can. And
actually, probably the people in this virtual room have already done that. I had purposely not filled it out because I wanted to see how good they were. So I kept all the postcards, and then this week, and then they came once, but they're supposed to come 3 times. And so I was not happy with them. And then just yesterday, we got an envelope from the census, and I had never noticed, but especially this one was like the boldest writing on it. Says, you have to answer this. It's by law, or it's illegal not to participate in the census, which it had never occurred to me, but it is that serious. So you've already done it. It's time to bring your friend. Help your friend do it. Ask people around you. $1,500 a year per person that gets counted is a lot of money for our area that we don't want to miss out on.
Yep, I've asked my mother-in-law and father-in-law if they've done the census, talked to grandparents. We want to get every single person. I put my little baby on the census, and I was like, yes, she's counted.
Was she already born?
Well, my other little baby, my older little baby got counted.
Okay. Only if you were born before April 1st.
Yep. First one got in there.
Excellent. Well, I know the cities have been doing a lot of work on this too, and I'm very thankful. The numbers are going up. I think we're up at the 90s now when you count how many people have self-reported and knocking on doors. So it's going up. Very nice. The cities, the city of Urbana and the city of Champaign have both they co-sponsor this event, but they also have been very active in so many things, and both mayors are excellent and highly supportive. And so next we're gonna do something that they run through city council and name and do a proclamation for this week. So it's their turn to speak. Normally I would come into the room and read it. And so here you go, Lauren, proclamation video.
Whereas the success of our cities has been the product of our unique capacity to welcome the contributions and spirit of entrepreneurship of all people, regardless of race, gender, creed, or country of origin. And whereas immigrants account for a large and growing share of our economy, making up 12% of the population of Champaign County, Illinois. And
whereas the cities of Champaign and Urbana are committed to work together with immigrant families to develop a welcoming community that leverages the full potential of all who live here, capitalizing on diverse perspectives, cultures, and talents for knowledge, creativity, and innovation to thrive. And whereas we join with the Welcoming Champaign County Collaborative to encourage the citizens of the cities of Champaign and Urbana to recognize the importance of working together in order to create and support strong, secure, and successful places to live, work, and play.
now therefore we, Deborah Frank Finan, Mayor of the City of Champaign,
And Diane Wolf Marlin, Mayor of the City of Urbana, Illinois, do hereby proclaim September 12th through 20th, 2020 as Welcoming Week in the cities of Champaign and Urbana, Illinois.
You know, we see immigration as a federal issue, and sometimes there's this urgency or this desire to kind of push that and say we need federal reform or federal changes that doesn't pertain to us. But it really, immigration and immigrant advocacy really needs to happen at every level. At the federal, state, local level, we need to have a local government that recognizes the contribution of immigrants and welcomes them and has policies to support immigrant integration and acceptance in the community. So having both of the mayors, I know for several years they've been part of welcoming efforts, and having that proclamation just shows that regardless of any sort of federal morass or the polarization of immigrant issues, that locally we have a strong foundation to work with and create partnerships that matter to people on an individual day-to-day basis. So that's always encouraging to see. And, I'm just loving the fact that there's 2 strong women mayors reading it. Was that the quote from Ruth Bader Ginsburg? When will we be happy with the Supreme Court? When all 9 are women. So
Well, in this city, it's not just the fact that we're happy about, it's their actions that we're happy about. That both cities are on track to, they're working on welcoming America's status as welcoming cities. They have different levels, and there's all kinds of stipulations for the cities, and they're working on them. And so this is not just women, this is women of action. We often have that discussion at home when we're watching movies anymore with the kids. It's women are front and center in all the action movies now too. And so it's kind of like there's no job left that can't be done so well. So anyway, but it's good of you to mention our recently departed judge. She will have the impact, I think, in the election. This is the time for us to take her lead and to say, because of you. And so,
yeah, carry forth that legacy.
Very much. So we'll come back to the Facebook Live event as we go on to this part, Charlotte. The part that we came for is the awards and all the announcements and all the feel-good stuff. It's just great to be together. But we did come for awards. So take it away, Charlotte, with our first one.
Our first award is the Student Leadership Award, and this award is really for a student who's shown promise as a leader or demonstrated commitment to serving or working with immigrants or refugees, either locally or abroad. And I think our award winner this year really embodies what that award stands for. We have with us Jacopo De Marinis. He is the son of immigrants and an outstanding example of the spirit and dedication of our student generation who are helping their immigrant community and dedicated to immigrant justice. He began learning Spanish. He knew it would come in handy, didn't know exactly how, and he really solidified that answer when he joined Professor Ann Abbott's Spanish course that includes a community service learning component. And Jacopo selected working with Immigrant Services of Champaign-Urbana, that used to be CU Fair, along with 18 of his fellow classmates. So during that spring semester of 2020, he was on the front lines, although COVID-19 forced the termination of the students' participation a little bit early. Jacopo had already started an outstanding contribution, and I know it's impacted the immigrant community and Jacopo. Although he didn't have a vehicle, he is always willing to go out into community via bus and meet with families, accompany them to appointments, help them learn how to navigate those bus routes, and getting them into ESL classes while working with other family liaison volunteers who did not speak Spanish. Jacopo has translated documents, interpreted for other people, and he's also done his share of emergency calls in response. So congratulations to this award winner, Jacopo De Marinis.
Hi, my name is Jacopo De Marinis, and I am a junior at the College of Aces, majoring in public policy and law, with minors in Spanish and political science. It is such an honor to have been chosen to receive the Student Leadership Award. I want to thank the Champaign-Urbana Immigration Forum and the Urbana Library for organizing and hosting this event. The work that you're doing in instilling the values of respect and kindness in the younger generations is so important, and we are so grateful for your dedication to helping immigrants.
I don't know, but I think Jacopo at some point later in his life is going to say, that was me, that was this little section, and there I was recording. So that's, I guess, our reality now with phones everywhere, but especially under the circumstances of trying to all be together in the same virtual space. So excellent. Thank you, Jacopo, for all the work that you've done. The Business Leadership Award is our next award that we put forward. This award is given to a business that contributes to the local immigrant community through advocacy, donations, or in-kind services, and is locally owned, immigrant-owned business that has contributed to the local economy and development of Champaign-Urbana. This year's winner is acupuncture and oriental medicine. And the owner is Nina Wang. She was actually nominated in a couple of categories. So I was very interested that it was through her business side that she comes toward with us, but she's been helping in a lot of areas. So she's been leaving her mark. What began in 2006 as a personal practice and techniques that heal the body has become a hub for the community. Ms. Nina Wang and her business are the glue of the nascent Chinese business owners organizing through the Business Roundtable at the New American Welcome Center. Ms. Wang helps her other business owners and other immigrants become aware of the opportunities during this hard time to do business and has not hesitated to do pro bono work. Nina Wang arrived in Chicago in 1990. She worked at the University of Chicago, at Northwestern University, and Rockefeller University. And so aside from her business, she has served on the board of the Chinese American Association of Central Illinois. And as its president, in 2018, she has organized events for the Chinese community and promotes the association and other activities. But she also leads a dance group that teaches and performs to nearby cities and community members. So as you can tell, there's many reasons to have contact with Nina. And so we got in touch with her, and so here she is. Cute.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nina Wang, and I am so honored to receive this Business Leadership Award. As I understand, this is the 7th year of recognition from CEO. CEO 老说 UC 从来这个地方。As I understand, this is the 7th year of recognition from CEO Immigration Forum. CEO Immigration Forum has done a great job in helping immigrants. They have made Champaign like a home for newcomers. I have come to the United States from China in 1990, 30 years ago. Like most immigrants, I came here for opportunities to better my life and better my family's life. Since coming to the US, my family and I lived in many different places. Before coming here to Champaign, I have worked in the University of Chicago, Northwestern University, Rockefeller University in New York City, and the Florida Institute for Reproductive Medicine in Jacksonville, Florida. When I moved to Champaign in 2006, 14 years ago, I discovered that we had moved to a place we could settle down and start building a home and a community. As a doctor in China, helping people with their problems has always been my interest. So once my family moved to Champaign, I decided to finally start my own business so that I could work full-time as an acupuncturist. I opened a clinic to practice the ancient healing medicine. Acupuncture and Chinese medicine are alternative treatment with a 1,000-year history, proven to work for a lot of illnesses. Working in my own clinic, relieving people's pain, solving people's suffering, and seeing smiles on people's faces are big rewards to me. Also, for some new immigrants, acupuncture is a more affordable treatment, especially for people who don't have medical insurance. In this way, I feel that I can take care of my fellow immigrants who may not be able to get health care otherwise. Although acupuncture has a long history in America, it is not that well known or well understood. In order to have more people benefit from this wonderful treatment, I took active involvement in promoting acupuncture and increasing people awareness by giving talks to local organizations and local communities. I volunteer in a nonprofit organization called American Traditional Chinese Medicine Association, short for ATCMA. As the secretary of ATCMA, I help organize weekly academic seminars and annual conventions to better medical skills among the acupuncturists. We also try to advocate to make acupuncture available to more patients. For example, for more insurance company to cover acupuncture, and legislation to have good policies toward acupuncture and Chinese medicine. I volunteered for not just acupuncture, but also the broader immigrant community. I'm active at the Business Roundtable at the New American Welcome Center, also in Chinese American Association for Central Illinois, known as CAACI. I have served as a board member, vice president over the years, and as president in 2018. CAACI is a non-profit organization. To my understanding, it also won the Community Impact Award this year. CAACI serves the local Chinese community. We host many activities like golf games, ping pong games, dance practices, chorus, summer picnics, autumn moon celebration, and the Chinese New Year celebration. We help newcomers find home, help students with their needs. I believe America is the land of opportunity. We are here to live. It's our home. We benefit from it. And I like to contribute my skills and my time so that all immigrants like me can feel the same. Thank you for supporting me and having me here today.
Charlotte, we were talking about how do we recognize in these virtual rooms and how do we clap? So it's kind of hard to do, but we should all be doing. The little icon down there just doesn't do it for me. I like noise. I really do. But here we are. It's nice to hear Nina's words. We didn't get the award to her, the physical award yet to her, just because of things him. But she's the only one we didn't reach this week. We couldn't get to her today. But anyway.
And she has set up a perfect segue into the next award, because the next award we're presenting is the Community Impact Award.
Yeah, but you gotta wait. We got the more drumming and dancing. The Noma Expressions, led by Tatiana Ammons, is providing another interlude. They got together 2 weeks ago. So we're trying to figure out how do we do this, being safe, but bringing noise, music, that part that every culture just makes. And so so that's where this video was taped, this coming up video coming that's next. Lauren?
I'm Tatiana Ammons, and we're in Goma Expressions. We want to welcome the international students here to the U of I. Thank you for having us at your 2020 Immigration Awards Ceremony. We want to welcome you to our lovely town of Champaign-Urbana and to the U of I campus. I'm going to let my group take it away. Again, we're in Goma Expressions. The rhythm they're going to play is Sourcine, and I'm going to let the drummers take it away.
Yeah, you know, every celebration needs a little bit of music, a little bit of dancing, and a little bit of food. So hope y'all are eating snacks out there wherever you are this Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, get your popcorn out. Actually, this performance reminded me. We had drummers like this maybe 5 years ago when we did it at the lake house, and you just can't sit down. We ended up, everybody, just the audience, we just all came out and started dancing. It was a beautiful afternoon, because it really does add to our, I don't know, the vibe of everything. It's so different. I wanted to name, actually, I was in the middle of, before we segued in, and she was so perfect, name the board of the Immigration Forum. Over the years, since we began some 10, 11 years ago, we had advocacy as our main thrust. We came out because we needed to make sure that immigrants were not taken advantage of, and we did. And so I'm going to read what our goals are, and notice that after a little while we realized that our last one was actually our first one of these bullet points. And so the first one is, we celebrate the diversity and culture that immigrants contribute to our community. That one had been a tagline until we realized that really that's what we want to do. We educate the public about issues that affect local immigrant communities. We do still and want to be the advocate for the rights of immigrants and encourage their full participation in civic, cultural, social, and political life in our community. And we promote permanent and positive changes that will improve the quality of life for immigrants in our community. Lastly, we organize for policies that lead to just and humane treatment for all immigrants that are part of our community. Over the years, there have been many different groups that have come forward and have done the work in new organizations. Our president, Tom Garza, leads PACA in town. Our vice president is Claire Zook. Our treasurer, Mike Doyle, and leads the Y. We have Jack Wilkie, an immigration attorney who takes up cases. And the most recent addition to our board is Lisa Sechner. And she has gone into the adventure with me. You know, you'll see her in some of the pictures, but she was really behind many of the pictures and a lot of the work that has happened this week. So I just want to give a shout out, especially to her on this, because it's not even a dozen people as we get the nominations, or the six, the five that make it to today. It's the dozens and dozens of people that have formed their own groups on figuring out how they're going to help. And I wanted to point that out because one of our recipients almost wanted to turn it down, says, there's so many good people, why me? And because the judges said so, but really there's a lot of good stuff. So anyway, I wanted to put that in because it just fits the fact that there's a lot of people out here that are so nice. So we have a next award. Sorry.
Our next award is for the Community Impact Award, and goes seamlessly with our last award recipient. The Community Impact Award is for a community-based organization or a nonprofit or public sector institution or even a local government that demonstrates exceptional commitment to serving and advocating for local immigrants in the community. The nominee may also be considered for adopting specific policies or initiatives in response to growing immigrant population. Our winner for this year is the Chinese American Association of Central Illinois, CAACI. As Nina Wang said, it's a nonprofit organization. It's nonpartisan as well, and it's for Chinese Americans and their friends in Central Illinois. Its goal is to engage in cultural, educational, and social activities that help members play a more active role in the community and promote the well-being of Chinese and Chinese Americans in the area. You know, the Welcome Center has done a lot of work with the YMCA to look at the immigrant community in Champaign-Urbana, and I know the Chinese American community is a big piece of that. CAACI has demonstrated great value and impact, especially during these hard times. They normally plan and organize great events to celebrate the Chinese New Year, a parade, and a Mid-Autumn Festival to bond the local Chinese community. As the virus affected events, they've gone virtual. They've organized to ameliorate the pandemic by gathering $6,000 in cash for medical supplies. They've connected with Chinese international students' families, and together they organized to deliver tens of thousands of PPE, gloves, and masks to Carle Foundation Hospital and Provena Hospital. For a period, they were also the largest active single group at the food bank. So really well-deserving congratulations to our 2020 award winner for the Community Impact Award.
I'm honored to receive this award on behalf of the Chinese American Association of Central Illinois, CAACI. This award is not only given to the CAACI, but also to the entire Chinese American community. As a non-profit organization, the CAACI is actively committed to the community cultural, educational, and other social activities to promote the integration of the Chinese American community with other communities. The annual Chinese New Year is a big celebration for the CAACI, but due to the epidemic, the original gala celebration was cancelled this year. Since the first case of COVID-19 appeared in Champaign on March 15, Dr. Yao Kun, Dr. Gong Chunlin, and Yang Gong Angela launched a mask donation campaign. Since then, the focus of the entire Chinese American community has been on purchasing masks and other PPE to help the hospitals and the communities here. From March to May, the Chinese American community donated hundreds of thousands of masks and other PPEs to hospitals, municipal governments, nursing homes, and church. It is this terrible deed that made the CAACI to receive the 2020 Community Impact Award. This is an honor to our entire Chinese American community, and it is also the commendation of our efforts. On behalf of the Chinese American community in Champaign-Urbana, I would like to express my gratitude to the organization committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait. Excellent.
Okay. 我很荣幸代表中一州华美协会来领取这个奖项。此奖不是仅仅发给华协，更是对这里整个华人社区的奖励。华美协会作为一个非营利组织，积极致力于社区的文化、教育和其他的社会活动，推动华人社区和其他的社区融合。每年的中国新年是这里的华人最大的庆祝和欢庆的日子，但由于疫情，使原本聚会的庆祝活动被取消。自从3月15号在香槟发现了第一例 COVID-19 病例，不久，Dr. 姚坤、Dr. 龚春林和杨红 Angela 就发起了口罩捐助活动。从此，整个华人社区中心就放在了购买口罩和防护服，来帮助这里的医院和社区的活动上。从3月至5月，整个华人社区向医院、市政府、老人院、教会捐献了成千上万只的口罩和其他防护服。正是这些义举，使得华协得到了2020年的 Community Impact Award。这是我们整个华人社区的荣誉，也是对我们努力的表彰。在此，我代表这里的华人社区对组委会表示感谢。Thank you.
Charlotte, I'm not sure if this is what happened, but I asked him to record it in Chinese, and that's when I realized that he may have been translating on the fly from his words in Chinese written and then putting it in English. The beauty of that, you know, that power of bilingual and then what goes on in the head to be able to do that is just phenomenal to me. So it makes me feel humbled, you know, just to hear a switch, the person, you know, in full of abilities and then filtered by the things that we have to do because we moved to the US. So
yeah.
Anyway, it felt good to be with him and to be part of that feeling of full ability. So anyway, it caught my eye as I'm watching it. It hadn't occurred to me right then. So
yeah, I've seen that where people are, you can tell they're thinking in one language and speaking in another. Or sometimes I've seen that beautiful moment where someone is speaking in English and then they realize that the other person knows their language and they can switch.
Yeah.
And like, whoa, I could speak to you in French or in Spanish, or, you know, you see someone and then that ease of, oh, okay, you're here with me and we can, you know, I can express myself in different ways. I think the beauty of connecting through language is always, it's interesting to see that give and take. Bilingual kids who just kind of mix it all up together into.
Yeah, that's even better when the kids do it and they don't even distinguish, they just flow in whatever they have in front of them. So it's wonderful. So that was, you know, without intending, that was like our Chinese highlights. But out of the 25,000 immigrants that are in our county, I can feel the presence, the quality of food and the choices in town is like maybe the remainder of the evidence. That is, they've been here for a while, making a huge impact through the university, but in other ways. I first saw it in when our demographic report came out 2-3 years back. I live in a Latino community, and I thought that we were the majority. And when I saw the numbers, I said, you know, I was blinding myself because you know, my day-to-day did not allow me to zoom out and notice that a good portion of our community, once you add, you know, Chinese to the Koreans to the Filipinos to it's a lot of people that come from a section of the world with which I had not grown up with, and it's been satisfying to get this year just both the help but the insight, and now in the awards too that they were nominated and kept forward. I mean, these two people are helping and channeling really the effort of so many other people. So I love that. I think it's like a nice balancing, a nice filling in of the picture.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of true multiculturalism. People coming from all over the place and coming together and sharing, maybe like acupuncture, something maybe Latinos haven't tried before. Or
actually, I have. You know that Philadelphia, our soccer team, whenever somebody got hurt, I had the choice because I ran the league. What do you want to do? And they would talk amongst themselves and they said, well, if we go to a normal doctor, the bill's going to be really high. They're going to keep me there for 2 days, and then a week later, I still can't work. But if I go to the Chinese doctor, you know, $60, $70 later, with acupuncture and with cups, they would help the players come back to what they wanted to do, was either keep on playing or go to work, because otherwise regular medicine that, you know, at the regular hospital could drop out. So anyway, so I was an early adopter, I believe, and I certainly will use them. So anyway, we have our next award.
Our next award is our Leadership Award. Our leadership award is an individual who's been a strong leader of the immigrant community. And this year we have Borema Ouedraogo, also known as Ibrahim. He's the director cinematographer of Global Visual Media Studio based out of the Urbana-Champaign Independent Media Center. As an immigrant from Burkina Faso, Ibrahim has engaged in critical community programming for the past few years, serving on the board of directors of the Independent Media Center, participating as an artist in the Belongings exhibition featuring stories from local immigrants, most recently receiving a City of Urbana Arts grant to create the Clapboard Film Festival, which is teaching independent filmmaking to young artists, primarily artists of color and young immigrants. Ibrahim has been enthusiastically involved in cinema for the past 20 years of his life. He served in major production roles in his native Burkina Faso, including technical director in making television series, reporting, live emissions, music videos, institutional videos, docuseries, and short films. He's done a little of everything. Last year, he traveled and went to New York to film cultural events pertinent to the African diaspora. He is married with 2 children and lived in the US for the past 10 years. He's a leader in using filmmaking to share stories untold, preserve cultural histories and traditions, and create empowerment. So congratulations to our Leadership Award winner.
My pleasure, as a representative of the CU Immigration Forum and all the other groups who co-sponsor, to award you this little token of appreciation for being such a leader in our community, for supporting. I know that not only us, but in other places, the IMC, and you're a great example of an immigrant doing good and contributing to this society. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to award you this. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Borema Ouedraogo. I am originally from Burkina Faso in West Africa, and I've been living here in United States for almost 10 years. I've been living in the Champaign-Urbana for 5 years now. It's a great honor for me to be here, but especially I want to say thank you for this great award, this honor. It's a great honor for me to accept this award from University YMCA. I am a local artist. I'm a videographer here in town. Video production is my passion. This is what I do for a living. And this is the passion that I have since back home. And I was happy to be able to, despite sometimes the integration, the difficulty, to be able to follow with this passion as a storytelling videographer and help people share their story. I have a small studio, Global Visual Media Studio in town, and I also joined the board of director at the Independent Media Center, where it's a great place for social justice, and they did a lot of things from the community, for the immigrant community, as well as the mission of the university. YMCA, I've been leading workshop, videography workshop, and at the IMC. I also try to, through my freelance work, I've been to different community. I see what they need. I try to find a strategy to help them share their story and through the video. And this is why I've been doing it, and I enjoyed it. And I want to say thank you to the Urbana Art Culture Program, who has a wonderful program that support anything relating with the art. I had the opportunity to I was granted for the Urbana Art Culture Program for my project Club for Film Festival, which is production, post-production, teaching youth to learn about video production domain from start to finish. It was a great experience, and I also lead those kind of workshop for the adult as well in the community. I help sometime different. It can be in church, a lot of community here who have a church, I have a lot of business. The group of community that have a voice, they want to share, I help them achieve the goal through my small business, Global Visual Media Studio. So this is what I do. It's a great passion, and I want to encourage people, my fellows, to take the action to share what they have to do to support the community. We are living in Urbana, Champaign, which is a very diverse community, and you hear a lot of things, and maybe your action today can impact somebody that feel that they are very welcome here also. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity that I get from this nomination. Thank you for the award. It's a great honor for me to be here, and I accept your award. And I hope, my big hope, I hope next year, the year to come, we still have somebody, some other candidate from different group, that so many here in Urbana that will take action. If they hear me, they take action. Everything is possible. Follow your dreams, work hard, follow your dreams, contribute to the community, and to make our community more diverse and the better place to live. Thank you.
Ricardo, what a great message that if everyone just takes action at what they excel at and what their piece of the pie is, that we can create a better community together.
I kept feeling that from him, right? He is a community member. Mm-hmm. I read recently, I should have it quoted so I give her credit directly, but she was asked what's an activist? And she said, actually, for me, an activist is someone who has decided to put their resources into doing something for the community instead of for themselves. And under that, many of us can claim that credit, but it's an honor to do so. You know, it is our place. It is our home, kind of like what Welcoming Week theme is. You know, we're creating our home, and we're each doing. I'm going to put a challenge to you, Charlotte. As I introduce the next person, the next award or last award, what are some actions people can take? Maybe we can see them on the chat, but I'd like to see what you think. Actually, I'm not even sure where you live anymore. You're everywhere now, thanks to Zoom. But I know that the project has been based in Bloomington, even though we have an office here, the Immigration Project. So I know the legal work flows between you and Gloria and Zoe at the Welcome Center. But where is your community, and how do you find it too? Because there's some local actions, and yet the national one freezes up a lot of people. So anyway, think of actions. As I introduce our last award, the Distinguished Leadership Service Award. This is an individual who has made significant contribution to making our community more welcoming to immigrants and refugees. And as I read this, I think to myself, significant contribution is, it's not measured, it's immeasurable, because many things that people are doing do not show up on anybody's radar except the recipient. So he expresses that, but I just feel like there are many people that are doing significant work. Niels says, Niels Jacobson continued commitment and steady hard work in support of the immigrant communities, and particularly the Guatemalan community of Champaign-Urbana. During his long professional trajectory as a historian, Latin American historian, I just learned, Niels has been a tireless advocate in support of Latinx communities in our region. He served as director of the Center for Latin American and Caribbean Studies, where he helped expand the center's community outreach activities. Since retirement, and as the challenges facing CU immigrant communities have multiplied as a result of changing federal policies and the physical and economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, Niels has intensified his work now through Immigrant Services of Champaign-Urbana, the former CU Fair. There, he does it all. He'll frequently drive immigrant families to Chicago to assist them with immigration hearings and papers and to help them find legal support. He helps them with food distribution to families and has gone to stores to purchase and deliver food, traditional food from his own funds. He also helps families make apartments more habitable. For instance, by providing new mattresses and removing old ones. Niels also assists immigrants in paying their rent, which is especially complicated during COVID, by helping them deliver the rent checks to the property owners and so forth. Niels points out that there are others more deserving, but the judges panel disagreed. The Welcome Award began 7-8 years ago when we decided that the language ought to be the correct one when we refer to immigrants. And so we started using welcoming. Now both cities have adopted the language and they're in the process of becoming certified welcoming cities. And the people that make that happen are people such as yourself. And so in this case, long and distinguished service in that endeavor, we present to you the it's almost like a Lifetime Achievement Award from our perspective. So here we are. Thank you.
I greatly appreciate it.
And thank you also for your kind words. It's beautiful to be in collaboration. So thank you very much.
First of all, I would like to thank the Champaign-Urbana Immigration Forum, and particularly Ricardo Diaz, for the great honor that they're giving me by awarding this award to me. And also would like to thank the person who nominated me, who is a good friend of mine, I found out afterwards. And all of those in our community who are working every day to make immigrants from all over the world welcome here. Working with immigrants for me is a blessing. I may help some of them a little bit, but they help me by enriching my life and comprehending comprehending better what it means to be human. It means to recognize the humanity and the potential, the goodness in those who are very different from ourselves. Refugees, asylum seekers, immigrants of many types often become the victims of failed policies of neglect and hatred or rejection due to misunderstood national self-interest. They are flashpoints or canaries in the mine of what is going wrong around the world. A major contradiction for the meaning and practice of what the nation state is. And we're in such a situation of crisis at this moment, and all around the world, the victims of this crisis, the particularly strong and massive victims, are the migrants, the asylum seekers, and the refugees. It's not just in the United States, but the United States is one of the cases where this is very noticeable. This has become worse during the term of the current president. He has established bans against Muslims. He has rejected asylum seekers from Central America. He has created a deportation industrial complex that is becoming more and more like a gulag. And he has made the situations of those who are trying to integrate into our communities worse every day by so and so many measures. And in a callous and calculating and really awful way. I am thus thankful that I have been able to contribute just a bit to the dedicated and ceaseless work that Immigrant Services of Champaign-Urbana, which was formerly known as CU Fair, has been doing. We had to change our name because we found out that a national organization with a very similar name was a very virulent anti-immigrant organization. Thus, now we are ISCU, Immigrant Services of CU Fair. And I'm very proud to be working with them on these goals because I think they have a particular approach that is good, a holistic approach where we try to stay with our immigrant friends for the duration, looking after them in terms of their educational needs, their health needs, legal needs, transportation needs, to the ICE appointments and to the immigration court appointments and to the ISEP appointments in Chicago. And so we really get to know them and they become our friends. And we have been ramping up our work a lot during the past 6 months during the pandemic. We've served over 300 families, delivering food to them with the help of many other organizations. And we have given utility and rental assistance to some 40 to 50 families as well. And we're also very, very grateful and very happy that we are cooperating with many other organizations in Champaign-Urbana to do all of this work. So again, I'm very grateful to the Immigration Forum for this honor, and I will pledge to keep on working on this very, very important goal, that is to make immigrants welcome in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's beautiful. It's COVID times. What are we going to...
You know, Niels, he cares so passionately. We've worked with him with the Immigration Project and worked with, used to be CU Fair. It will take us all a while, Immigrant Services of Champaign-Urbana. But what's exceptional is he doesn't just have the caring and compassion, but he transforms that into action, right? And he's just so passionately an advocate for the people that he's helping. That's good to see. We don't always agree 100%, and sometimes he wants us to help everyone, and we're saying we want to help everyone, but we don't have capacity. But he's there advocating and passionately pushing for help for the people that he's in contact with. So what can you all do? I mean, a lot of you are here because you're compassionate and connected and doing the work, and we're here to celebrate that. As Ricardo said, there's the award recipients today, but that's just the tip of the iceberg of all of the great work that's happening day to day with immigrant communities from all sorts of origins and backgrounds and cultures coming together in Champaign-Urbana. I really think, you know, find a way to put your time, treasure, and expertise to work for things you're passionate about. Are you a videographer? Do you have a passion for art? You know, can you make immigrant-friendly art or participate in supporting artists in having an exhibit and coming together and celebrating immigration in our communities? Are you really passionate about, you know, legal services? That's my passion in my home. If so, you know, come join us, contribute to us, or join in the work we're doing. Are you able to donate some time driving and you're able to take clients up to hearings in Chicago, or, you know, help people learn the bus system? I think that there's really a piece of the work for everyone. If you are able to give your time to volunteer in an organization or talk to your friends, you know, I think that changing immigration national policy, the first step is changing hearts and minds amongst our friends and community members in a way that's compassionate, in a way that's coming forward and understanding and having a conversation, not in a Facebook forum, but in a way that really comes at real heart-to-heart connection and change. Are you, do you have other things going on, but you're able to donate financially? There's a lot of organizations who can take those dollars and turn it into action, either in policy work, in social services, in legal advocacy and change. So there's a role for all of us. And I think what's beautiful about this awards ceremony and Welcome Week is that you see all of those pieces coming together and bubbling to the top, and seeing how people can come at immigration and inclusion and welcoming from all sorts of different angles. You know, what can you do? The answer is as diverse as the people here. We're all diverse, we all have our own strengths, and we can all do something to make us in a better place and have a better life together.
Right on, Charlotte. I had muted myself. Love to hear that. Well, thank you, everybody. It looks like the chat is on. And I thank you, Charlotte. I think that the legal side of immigration is probably the most salient when it comes out in the news and the national news. And yet, you're the ones that are taking care of especially the conflicted parts of all that legal mess. I know that Gloria and Zoe, you know, do paperwork. They just sent their first, I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it's an asylum case. But I'm thankful for you, for your work, your cohort, all the lawyers and paralegals and everything that crosses. So I'm just thankful that we can be together doing the work. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And before I transition, with these actions, we're going to show a video and let it roll as our final presentation, but it's going to roll just so that there's time to keep the chat going and for people to connect. Several of the actions that you mentioned, Charlotte, as an individual are exhibited here in this video, actually. There's 2 rallies or things that happened, I mean, just within the last year. I added it to 15 months. I must apologize, actually, the refugee center, I couldn't download their pictures for some reason and include them, but they're in here. The same people are working for the same cause. But anyway, so as you look at the pictures and see yourselves and see your friends, they're all doing something. And that's what makes it more powerful. We are doing something, and that adds up to being able to recognize people here at the awards. So goodbye, Charlotte. See you soon.
Thank you for letting me join all of you and celebrate our award winners together, your award winners together. And I will stick around and watch this chat because, you know, I think having a great space for conversation is so needed as we figure out how to move forward. So let's look at some pictures and keep that conversation going. Thank you.
And that'll be the conclusion of our program. So we're closing up officially, but that stays there so we can just keep on, look at the video and just get that good feeling all over again. We've done a lot of work this year. And I think next year, if things are rolling correctly, we'll have much to celebrate and even more to celebrate as we get to the COVID crisis. So thank you all.
Bye, everybody.
effectively end their hope for a better life. No human being.
Here in Champaign-Urbana, and I just wanted to go right now here and say specifically, right now we're on the land of the Kawalia, the Miamia, the Kikapua, and the
Laina.